Hello, and thanks for joining me for another online academic team practice session. Questions today will be quick recall, sometimes known as general knowledge or questions from all topics at the middle grades level. For this practice round, I'll be reading 40 questions. Before starting this round, let's quickly go over the different game types. You're welcome to watch this video and play along solo. Record your answers to questions on a piece of notebook paper and use the answers at the end to tally how many you got correct. This video can also be used as part of a team practice. Coaches can split students into teams and pause the video after each question is read to line up with your academic team rule set. Finally, this video can be used for other types of online play if you can't meet in person, such as using this video over a conferencing service. Adapt the rules to fit the way you'd like to practice, or if you've been asked to practice a certain way by your coach, follow those instructions. Remember that you can pause or change the speed of this video via YouTube settings if necessary for your practice. Captions may help you keep up with questions. Alright, let's get started. Remember that we will go over each of the answers to the questions at the end of this round. Question number 1. A group of 3 students is told to measure and record their heights. If the heights of the 3 students are 6 feet 4 inches, 5 feet 3 inches, and 5 feet 10 inches, then what is the total height in feet and inches of these 3 students? Time. Question 2. First and last name required. This New England officer was placed in command of Continental forces in the South during the Revolutionary War. He was forced to surrender Charleston, South Carolina, to the British, but later served the Continental Congress as a Secretary of War from 1781 to 1783. Name this man for whom Lincoln County, Kentucky is named. Time. Question 3. In this musical, rivals Riff and Bernardo meet at Doc's drugstore to discuss the terms of their turf war. Despite Anita's warnings about a boy like that, Maria, a Puerto Rican immigrant, falls in love with Tony, a member of the Jets. Identify this 20th century adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. Time. Question number 4. Spelling required. The lawyer's outrageous argument was nevertheless persuasive to the jury. Spell the word in the previous sentence that is an antonym of unconvincing. Time. Question number 5. This step in the water cycle is evident when clothes are hung out to dry. Factors that affect it are temperature, wind speed, humidity, and solar radiation. What is the step in which water as a liquid becomes water as a vapor or gas below its boiling temperature? Time. Question number 6. At this boundary, the escape velocity equals the speed of light. Give the 2-word phrase for the boundary that marks a black hole's limits. Time. Question 7. Modern versions of this instrument are often made from rubberized fabric, although the traditional sheepskin is sometimes retained. The player ekes out melodies on a chanter's holes, while as many as 6 drones provide harmony. Identify this ancient reed instrument that has a long association with the Scottish Highlands. Time. Question number 8. Multiple answers required. Consider the relation defined by y equals x cubed plus 7. If the range of the relation is -1 and 34, what is the domain of the relation? Time. Question number 9. This author's most recent novel follows Cammie O'Reilly's quest to find a new mother among the inmates of Hancock County Prison. Previously, he wrote of a nonconformist who shakes up Micah High School while stealing Leo Borlock's heart. Identify the author of The Warden's Daughter and Stargirl. Time. Toss-up question 10. This former name for a large city honors a Roman emperor. Originally named Byzantium, it was established along the coasts of the Bosporus and the Black Sea by Greek settlers. What name did the Roman emperor give to this city that is today named Istanbul? Time. Question 11. Her Christian name was Rebecca. She was born near present-day Jamestown, Virginia, and she died in England. Her father was the head of a confederation of nearly 30 tribes in the Tidewater region of Virginia. Name this Native American maiden who married John Rolfe. Time. Question 12. Most human cells have one of these. Without it, the cell could not grow. What is this major organelle that contains the information needed for a cell to reproduce? Time. Question number 13. Renaissance architecture dictated that this Roman order be used for the top floors of many buildings. Its tall, slender columns were topped by capitals that mixed acanthus leaves with large scrolls. What was this order whose name implies its fusion of Ionic and Corinthian elements? Time. Question number 14. This creator of Rotten Ralph and Joey Pigza won a Cyber honor for his autobiography, Hole in My Life. He incorporated childhood memories into his novel about a boy's extraordinary summer in a Pennsylvania town. Who earned a Newbery Medal for Dead End in Norvelt? Time. Question 15. What is the result when the trinomial x squared minus 10x plus 12 is subtracted from the trinomial x squared minus 8x plus 7? Time. Question 16. His expedition through what is now the southeastern United States began in 1539 when he landed on the Gulf Coast of Florida near Tampa Bay. This explorer had earlier participated in the conquests of Central America and Peru. Name the Spanish explorer who died from a fever and was buried in the Mississippi River. Time. Question 17. Last month, Rex used 6 gigabytes of data on his cell phone. Rose used 8 gigabytes, and Ryan used the remaining data on a 20 gigabyte family plan. What is the ratio of data that Ryan used to the data that Rose used? Time. Question 18. The artist explained his inspiration for this painting with the sentence, "This morning I saw the country from my window a long time before sunrise, with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big." It combines the rolling landscapes of Provence with memories of churches and homes in the artist's native Netherlands. Name this abstract landscape featuring a swirling sky and stars by Vincent van Gogh. Time. Question 19. This dramatic protagonist wishes to ride a bike again, to laugh till my belly aches, to have new clothes from the skin out, to be back in school with my friends. Instead, playwrights Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett depict her claustrophobic situation of living in an annex with 7 other people. Name this character based on the teenage Jewish girl whose diary detailed life under Nazi occupation. Time. Question 20. This word can apply to most microorganisms, including prions, parasites, fungi, viruses, and bacteria. Give the word for any disease-producing agent. Time. Question number 21. A right triangular prism has a base with legs that have lengths of 3 units and 4 units. If the height of the prism is twice that of the hypotenuse of the base, what is the volume in cubic units of the prism? Time. Question 22. In the ancient Roman Republic, 2 men with this title ruled as heads of state. Each had the power of veto over the other's actions. What title was given to the 2 men elected annually to lead the government and command the army? Time. Question 23. Since the early 1960s, this has been the most widely used semiconductor. While it is abundantly available, it is usually found in combination with oxygen in an oxide. Identify this chemical element that lends its name to a California region that is home to high-tech corporations. Time. Question 24. This artist used a brewing storm, cross-shaped telephone poles, and a winding country lane to foreshadow disaster in Death on the Ridge Road. He incorporated a visual pun into his adaptation of the George Washington cherry tree myth, Parson Weems' Fable. Who paid homage to his rural Midwestern upbringing in Young Corn? Time. Question 25. This 5th century figure was sold into slavery after being abducted from his homeland by pirates. He supposedly banished a certain reptile from an Atlantic island and illustrated the concept of the Trinity by using a shamrock. Name this Catholic saint whose feast day is celebrated on March 17th. Time. Question number 26. Prior to the passage of this amendment in 1913, United States senators had been appointed by their state legislatures. Which amendment to the Constitution of the United States provided for the direct election of senators by the voters of the states? Time. Question number 27. This collective work's individual concerti are written in E major, G minor, F major, and F minor respectively. Each work consists of 3 movements arranged in a fast, slow, fast pattern and is accompanied by a sonnet describing the composition's subject. Name this Baroque masterpiece by Antonio Vivaldi. Time. Question 28. This Greek root precedes trope in the name of a purple flower. It precedes centric in the name of an astronomic theory first proposed by Copernicus. Give this root meaning sun. Time. Question 29. This type of injury is common in athletes who skate, march, jump, or run. Despite its name, it does not result from a single severe impact, but rather from overuse. Name this kind of fracture, which occurs when micro damage accumulates during exercise. Time. Question number 30. What is the sum when the square root of 48 is added to the square root of 27? Time. Question 31. Significant scientific research here began in 1957 with the International Geophysical Year. The center of this place was reached in 1911 by Roald Amundsen, a Norwegian. Name this continent that lies at the bottom of the world. Time. Question number 32. The three main varieties of this plant are named for the regions where they grow: China, Cambodia, and Assam. Depending on its level of fermentation, it is classified as oolong, black, or green. Identify this caffeinated beverage particularly popular in Britain. Time. Question 33. This composer's 1974 work, Music in 12 Parts, was the culmination of his early minimalist period. Among his more than 20 operas are Appomattox and The Voyage, as well as his trilogy of portrait operas. Name the composer of Satyagraha, Akhenaten, and Einstein on the Beach. Time. Question number 34. This nonfiction work's subject has 3 hearts, a parrot-like beak, long tentacles, and eyes as big as soccer balls. Despite being the size of a bus, it lives in the deepest parts of the ocean, making it difficult for scientists to study. What is this book about a marine cephalopod written by Candace Fleming? Time. 35. Triangle RST is similar to triangle XYZ. If the length of RS is 6 units, the length of ST is 10 units, and the length of YZ is 12 units, what is the length in units of XY? That's time. Question 36. A rectangle has a perimeter of 64 units. The length of the rectangle is 3 times the width. What are the dimensions in units of the rectangle? Time. Question 37. These receipts from a bank may be of demand or time certificates. The demand variety are often used by contractors to guarantee the performance of their work. What do we call these certificates, the time of which guarantees a set percentage of interest over a set period of time? And that's time. Question 38. This painting's focal point is a bright orange sun whose light cuts through the gray mist to reflect in the water. The sky, water, and reflections merge as small, dark boats float in the harbor at Le Havre. Give the title of this revolutionary Claude Monet painting. Time. Question 39. This plant, whose roots and leaves contain a neurotoxin, is a relative of the poisonous belladonna and nightshade. Commonly grown by backyard gardeners, it is a good source of lycopene and vitamin C. What is this fruit that can be gold or green, but is most often red, and makes up one of 3 components of a BLT sandwich? Time. Question number 40. This tall tale hero's birth name was Nat Love. After slavery ended, he moved west, where he won a rodeo contest, survived capture by Native Americans, and drove cattle. Who was the African-American cowboy whose nickname derived from a series of Edward Lytton Wheeler dime novels? And that's time. That brings us to the end of our questions for this round. We're now going to go over the answers if you'd like to go through and check how you did. Let's start with question number 1. The answer to question 1 would be 17 feet, 5 inches. Question 2 would be Benjamin Lincoln, not Franklin, Benjamin Lincoln. Question 3 would be West Side Story. Question 4 is persuasive, spelled P-E-R-S-U-A-S-I-V-E. Question 5 would be evaporation. Question 6 is event horizon. Question 7 is bagpipes, or just bagpipe. Question 8 would be -2 and 3 in either order. Question 9 would be Spinelli or Jerry Spinelli. And question 10 would be Constantinople. Question 11, the correct answer is going to be Pocahontas. Question 12, nucleus. Question 13, composite or composite order. 14 would be Gantos or Jack Gantos. 15 would be 2x minus 5. 16, Hernando de Soto, or just de Soto. 17, 3 to 4. They would also accept 3/4. 18 would be the Starry Night, or just Starry Night. And 19 would be Anne Frank, or just Frank. Question 20, the correct answer would be pathogen. 21 would be 60 or 60 cubic units. 22, console or consoles. 23, silicon. 24, wood or Grant wood. 25 would be Patrick or Saint Patrick. 26, 17 or 17th Amendment written out. 27 would be the Four Seasons or Four Seasons. 28 would be helio. 29 would be stress or stress fracture. Question 30. The correct answer will be 7 square root 3. Also accept 7 radical 3. 31. Correct answer is Antarctica. 32. The correct answer is T. 33. The correct answer would be glass or Philip glass. 34. The correct answer would be giant squid. 35. 7.2 units. Also accepting 7 1/5 units. 36 would be 8 units by 24 units, or just 8 by 24. 37 would be a certificate of deposit. They would also accept CD. 38, impression, sunrise. 39, tomato. And 40 would be Deadwood Dick. That brings us to the end of this round of practice questions. If you'd like to go back through and see how you would do after hearing the answers once, that may be smart. Thanks again for playing, and I'll be posting some other videos with questions you can use to practice in the future.